You've written your story with an absolutely perfect hero or heroine, but something feels off.
Off. And that's the problem. Readers don't fall in love with perfect heroes. They connect with the raw, conflicting desires that make us human.
Yeah, I guess perfect isn't very relatable.
Exactly. If your characters feel off or a bit robotic, it's usually because you haven't interrogated their morality yet. So today we're stripping away the archetypes to find the messy, authentic soul underneath.
Interrogating morality. That sounds like we're going to take the characters into a dark room with a single hanging light bulb. Dramatic. Where do we start?
We start by ditching the flawless hero. Modern audiences crave psychological realism. Tropes are fine for a first draft, but they create a barrier. If a character is purely heroic, the reader just can't see themselves in them.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because I've never heroically saved a village while wearing a cape, but I have accidentally put my t-shirt on back to front. So, how do we get past the tropes?
By looking at the weight they carry when no one is watching. Which leads to our first diagnostic question. What is the one thing your character would never admit to anyone?
As in something internal or values-based, like, I don't know, they hate jazz, or more like a dark secret from their past, like accidentally burning down a neighbouring village.
Well, it has to be something that dictates their present behaviour. So a secret creates organic tension. It affects their body language. Maybe they avoid eye contact or over-explain themselves because they're constantly afraid of being found out.
Right, so even a scene where they're just buying milk becomes tense because they think the cashier might know that they're a jazz-hating arsonist. Got it.
Well, that's a pretty extreme case, but you have the basic idea.
Really?
Yeah. It might be something like they haven't spoken to their parents in 20 years just because they've been so busy and they know they really should go and visit or just make a phone call, but they never get around to it. They think of themselves as a generally nice person, and this little fact doesn't really sit well with them.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be some huge thing, just something they're a bit embarrassed about. So in this instance, they hope that no one's going to ask how their parents are.
Exactly, okay. Yeah. It means they're going to avoid certain conversations or deflect them away from themselves, which just adds another layer of interest to interactions.
I guess it might also give them an air of mystery, makes the reader wonder what it's about if it's not like explained at the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. Now, question 2, where does their deepest ambition violate their personal moral code?
So they want something, but they feel bad about wanting it. So they want to play the saxophone, but they hate jazz. I don't know, I'm just going on.
Maybe.
Moving on from jazz.
Let's speak
Generally.
As humans, we often have to make messy compromises. So this isn't about choosing between right and wrong. It's about choosing between two right answers that can't both exist at the same time.
Okay, so like I've seen this one in movies, wanting to be like a world-class spy, but also wanting to be home in time to tuck the kids in.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a lot of compromise and probably a lot of missed bedtimes.
Yeah, and that kind of tension doesn't go away, right? It's not something you answer once and you're done with it. It'll come up over and over, and each time the character has to make the decision anew.
Yeah. Like another one I've seen in movies is the really hardworking dad who wants to be at the kids' sports games but is also trying to make partner in his firm will get a promotion. He's left work feeling great because he's going to make it, and then the boss calls and he has to decide where his priorities lie at that moment. I've definitely seen that one in the movie.
Yeah. And of course his boss's character comes into play in the decision as well.
Yeah, and how sick he is of his job and the boss's demands.
Exactly. Question 3 is, what do they do as a regular part of their life that they don't feel good about on some level?
Like an addiction? Smoking or drinking?
Yeah, and it could be just something more subtle as well, you know, not an addiction, but maybe they just drink a little bit too much.
Oh, like you, making AI art while also hating the fact that it kills the environment.
That's right, and wishing it wasn't so inspiring. Yeah. And these kinds of compromises lead to our next question, which is, what is the specific moment that they failed themselves?
Whoa, that's a bit dark. Wouldn't that just be part of their backstory, though?
Not necessarily. There's a difference between backstory and a living wound. Right? A living wound colours how they see the world now. So it's a regret they think is irredeemable, and it's a thing preventing them from moving forward.
So it's not just, I lost my keys once, it's, I lost the keys to the city and now everything is on fire kind of thing. Like, it's the ghost that follows them around for the story.
Yeah, it's the day they left their little brother unsupervised by the swimming pool for just a moment while they saw their boyfriend off, but they got distracted by some heavy kissing, and when they came back, the little boy was at the bottom of the pool.
That's a weird way of phrasing that. That is dark. Yeah, it would be hard to forgive yourself for that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it colours their present behaviour when it comes to safety, especially around children. They might be overprotective, for instance.
Okay, but you've put a lot of flaws into these characters now. They don't have to have all of these things, do they?
No, we don't all have living wounds, and our characters don't all have to have one.
They don't all have to have a dark secret.
No. These are just the kinds of questions you can ask to help you find greater psychological depth in your characters.
Okay, so there's a list of possible questions. You don't have to give them all of them.
Well,
okay, that's 4.
You can ask them, but
maybe there isn't
anything. Yeah, maybe there isn't anything. Yeah. This is a diagnostic process.
Right. There's a food for thought to get the juices flowing. Okay, that's 4 questions. What's next?
Okay. Well, this is one that probably all characters do have, and that is, what does your character take for granted?
Oh, this is like check their privilege question, isn't it?
Anyway, yes, it's about their safety net. Like, how do they react when that net is threatened? So a character's humanity is often revealed when they have to confront their own unfair advantages. It creates cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, okay, like a wealthy character being like, yeah, I'm self-made, except that they only got the job in the first place because of their dad.
Yeah, that's a good example. And that's a great way to have them show some vulnerability. Yeah.
They're good questions to ask ourselves too, really, for personal and psychological exploration.
Yeah, and that's one of the beauties of writing. We learn about ourselves as part of the process.
Like, we are very privileged to live where we live. We don't take it for granted, but are very aware of it. Big safety net of forest right outside our doorstep.
When you combine those layers, the secret, the warring desires, the regret, and the blind spot, you transform a static concept into a breathing entity.
So basically, you need to take your hero and make them as miserable, conflicted, and just as likely to put on their t-shirt backwards as the rest of us. Humanity!
Without overdoing it, though. But yes, that's how you bridge the gap between the ink and a living soul.
Right, well, I'm off to go interrogate my protagonist and give her some flaws.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and do subscribe for more videos from us on writing, editing, and publishing.
Yes, we're so honest in our conversations, you'll hear things from us you won't hear elsewhere.
Happy writing, everyone.